It had been a while since Tyrone had seen Jim Bob, so he decided to go to his house to visit him. It was a beautiful fall day, and Jim Bob was sitting out on the porch in his rocking chair drinking him some of that cold iced tea with his dog BG laying beside him. So Tyrone walks up on the porch, sits down in the rocking chair next to Jim Bob, and they start having this conversation. And as they're having this conversation, Tyrone notices that Jim Bob's dog BG is just sitting there whimpering. And as they continue to talk, the whimpering got louder and louder until Tyrone finally got annoyed by it. And he looked at Jim Bob and was like, "What's up with BG?" Jim Bob looked at BG, and he slowly looked back at Tyrone. He says, "What do you mean?" And he says, "BG is whimpering." "What's going on?" And he looks at BG, and he slowly looks at Tyrone, and he said, "Oh, he's sitting on a nail." Tyrone looks and was like, "You gonna get him off of it?" Jim Bob looks at BG, and he looks back at Tyrone, and he says, "Nope." And Tyrone looks with confusion, and he asks Jim Bob, "Why not?" Jim Bob looks at BG, and he slowly looks back at Tyrone and said, "I've tried to help him off that 3 times, but he keeps getting back on it. If when it hurts him enough, he'll get off of it." Hard to deal with BG. Everyone is either going through pain, is going through something painful, or will go through something painful. I haven't always had this smile and this joy that you see me today. I've experienced a lot of pain. And the most excruciating pain that I've ever experienced, that people tried to help me out of, that I wasn't able to get out of initially, was depression, feeling worthless. Most of you may not know, but I haven't always shoes, this super fly wheelchair you see me in today. 29 years ago, I was a 6'1" high school freshman, weighing 185 pounds. I ran 4.5 seconds in the 40-yard dash. I benched 215 pounds. I power cleaned 215 pounds. And I squatted 325 pounds. I was a beast, especially on the football field. Football was my life. I was passionate about it. I had been playing the game since I was 6 years old with my older brother, Artez. I had planned on using my athletic talents to earn a scholarship to be able to pay for college and end the financial struggles of my family. Because I knew my mom wouldn't be able to afford for me to go to college. You see, I was raised by a single mother who only had a 9th grade education. She worked a full-time job, making only $5.25 at the time, and 2 to 3 part-time jobs to make sure she took care of me, my brother, and my grandmother who had a disability. My mom was always honest about going to school and getting a good education. And so finally one day I had to ask her, like, "Mom, why are you always honest about getting a good education?" She looked at me and said, "I didn't want you to struggle like I did, continue to do. And I didn't want to struggle like that either." My mom's encouragement to get a good education, my desire to be able to use my athletic talents to pay for college and to end the financial struggles made it easy for me to include going to college as part of my plan. Going to college put me a step closer to my ultimate goal, playing in the NFL. I had already envisioned walking across the stage after being drafted in the first round of the NFL draft, shaking the commissioner's hand, shaking the commissioner's hand, and putting on a hat that had the star on it. Yeah, I was representing them Dallas Cowboys, baby. jersey up with Walker on the back. Then meeting with Jerry Jones to sign a contract, making enough money to be able to retire my mom from her work, buy her a house, and a brand new car. My plan was going as I had expected it as I entered high school. I was the only 14-year-old freshman playing on the varsity football team. This had been my dream ever since I would watch my brother playing as a sophomore on the varsity football team for the Sherman Bearcats. My plan was going as expected, and I was living up to all the expectations of people in the community. When my life changed in the blink of an eye, on October 20, 1995, the lights from Bearcat Stadium shined down the field, capturing my performance. The cold October breeze nipped at my skin as I walked to the left side of the field to take my position. I looked in at the quarterback waiting for him to receive the football. He received the football and tossed it to the running back, hitting on my direction. I ran the field as fast as I could to stop the play because I read that play like a book. The running back saw me and immediately tried to reverse field, but when he did, he slipped. I made a textbook tackle from behind, hitting the running back, wrapping him up and driving him toward the ground. Unknown to me, my teammate was coming from the opposite side to assist. He launched himself at the falling running back, but he missed. And he hit me instead, at the top of my helmet, crushing the vertebrae in my neck like a piece of glass, bruising the spinal cord, leaving me paralyzed from the neck down. I lay there motionless. Fear gripped my body like a boa constrictor does its prey. I heard a familiar voice come down and ask, "Man, what's going on?" It was my brother Artez. I shared with the man, "I can't feel my leg. I think I broke my back." The next thing I heard is someone asked me, "Can you squeeze my hand?" I didn't even know that person was touching me. The only thing I felt was the inside of my body curling to a fetal position. And then I heard another unfamiliar voice say, "I have his head. And on the count of 3, we're gonna roll him on his back. 1, 2, 3. And I felt my body roll backwards off my left side onto my back. But instead of my arms and legs feeling like they were right beside me and laying straight, they felt like they were pointed straight up in the air. Then I was loaded into the ambulance and they took me to the local hospital. They took me out of the ambulance and I remember laying there and just seeing fluorescent lights as they took me down the hallway. And we finally got to this room where my mom and my brother were right there by my side, and they continue to be by my side today. I remember hearing this unfamiliar noise and I looked up at my mom and I'm like, "What is that noise?" She said, "They're cutting your pads off." And I was told that I guess that's why you always told us to wear clean underwear. Because my mom had always told my brother and I that we must bathe and always put on clean underwear because we never know when we was gonna get into an accident. So I guess I'm not the only one that was told that. So I looked up at her and asked her, "Am I paralyzed?" And she nodded her head, yes. And I told her just to pray for me. And I was in a local hospital for 18 days. While I was in there, my heart stopped not once, not twice, but 3 times and my lungs collapsed. The doctors didn't know if I was gonna live or die. But I'm so grateful I had a praying mother. And I wish she was here today to be able to tell the story, but I'm gonna tell you the way she told it to me. She said the doctor said after they got me stable, the doctor that came out and told her, "Hey, we got him stable." My mom looked at him in her eyes and said, "Hey, you've done your job. It's in the Lord's hands now." And she told me she walked around the waiting room. She went down her quiet corner to pray. she prayed to God saying, he's my son, he's your child. If this is your will to be able to take him, go ahead and take him, but give me the strength to be able to make it through.
Amen.
But she said, if it was your will for him to live, I would do whatever I can to make sure he's taken care of. And this is one of the main reasons I'm in front of you today. Because of faith and what she put in behind that, it made sure that I'm not dead today. So always remember to walk by faith and not by sight. And then came to the point where I was devastated after my injury. The life I lived and the life I planned on living no longer exists. I asked the question, why me? Has anyone ever been through a situation in their life where you never asked the question, why me? Man, if I didn't know it, but I think everybody in here was quadriplegic because I ain't seen no hands go up. But seriously, there's anyone in here that may be going through something, always have that faith and the strength to be able to get through it. Because depression took over my weakened state of mind. I got to the point to where I wanted to die. I wanted to commit suicide. I had thought about starving myself to death, but that wasn't a good idea. Because the argument about to this, I like food too much. But again, seriously, if anyone is experiencing depression or knows someone that is experiencing depression, please go out there and get help. I had learned during this time that I wanted to do nothing. But do you know what the problem is with doing nothing? It doesn't end until you do something. And this is where I had to make a choice. I can choose to allow depression to paralyze my life, just like my body, or I can choose to seize a moment to take action, to find the silver lining. And so, what do y'all think I decided to do? I chose to take action, to find the silver lining. For every tough moment in your life, there's something that you can learn from. There's something that you can gain from it. And I know when you're going through that difficult situation, you may not realize that you have a choice to be able to find that silver lining. I didn't even recognize it until someone showed me. So I want you to imagine for a moment a tough situation that you may be going through, that you may have gone through, or that you think you may will go through. Because I want to share with you 2 questions to be able to ask yourself, to be able to find that silver lining. You might want to write these questions down for you to be able to use them later. You can just write them down on your phone, or if you got something, you want to jot them down. And I'm gonna say them slow. So the first question is there something I can do in the next 2 weeks in my personal and professional, or if you're a student, in my personal or at school, that will make things worse? Like my mentor Zig Ziglar said, I answer the hard ones for you. That's a yes. And what I want you to do when you get a chance later, just write down 2 things that you can do to make that situation worse. Because that brings about awareness. The second question is similar to the first question. Is there something I can do in the next 2 weeks in my personal life and professional, or if you're a student at school, that will make things better? And I answer that hard one too. That's a yes. And when you get a moment, I want you to write down 3 to 5 things that you can do to make the situation better. And choose the one that you can take immediate action on. Because by asking yourself those 2 questions, you're able to identify the things that you're doing to make the hardship work, which is just like remaining on the net in pain. The second question, you're able to identify the things that you can do to make it hard to get out of that hardship, to make things better, which is like getting off that net. And the things that you can do in the next 2 weeks that will make this situation better, now that's the silver lining. The silver lining will give you hope and motivation to keep going. And whether you realize it or not, you have just admitted to yourself that you have the power to make things better or worse. The choice is yours. My silver lining is my faith in Jesus Christ. It helped me rise up out of the ashes of depression like the mythological phoenix birds, even stronger. But I have to be honest with you. I was mad at God. I was angry. As I heard me earlier saying, you know, why me? Because I grew up in a church. God knows everything. So he knew this and he could have prevented this, but he didn't do it. So I was extremely angry at God. I got so angry at God because I grew up in a church. I knew there was a devil. So I'm like, devil, hey, if you make me talk again, I'll worship you. That was no time. So one night when I was 17 years old, I got tired of being sick and tired of crying myself to sleep every night just to get release and relief from the emotional pain that I was experiencing, feeling worthless. And I finally did what my mom encouraged me to do ever since I was a little bitty kid, and that was to pray. And I would always remember that night because I was laying in my bed, covered by the darkness of depression. And I finally asked Jesus to come into my life in all his way. And I heard a tender voice. My eyes closed real tight. And I had a peace that passed all understanding that I really can't explain to you. And I heard a tender voice say, Trenell. And I just want to stop right there. He said my name. Therefore, he knows his children. He said, Trenell, you put football before me. I don't want anything put before me. And right there, he was letting me know that I have my priorities in the wrong place. Where is your priorities? What are you putting first? Is it worth what it is? Is it worth it? So I just wanted to share that with you to examine your priorities. But he said, but through this injury, I'm gonna inspire others that if they put me first and use their mind to the fullest, they can do anything. Right now, I'm paralyzed from the neck down. And the only thing I can use to the fullest is what? My mind. This made me realize that my purpose is bigger than football. You have a purpose too. I must ask you this question, what is your why? What motivates you to get up every morning to do what you do? What motivates you to get up and go to school? What motivates you to get up and go to job or to the business that you own? My why is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals and organizations to triumph beyond their limitations. But I have to be real with you. I didn't get here by myself. I stand on the shoulders of giants. And like I said, man, my mentor Zig, he said, if you're ever walking down the streets and you see a turtle on a fence pole, it didn't get there by itself. And I didn't get to where I am by myself. I'm so grateful that I had a mother that loved me unconditionally and showed me so much tough love during the time I wanted to give up. That she had her foot so far in my blood, I was tasting her soul. I'm grateful that I had a stepdad that was able to step in and help me with help. I'm grateful that I had a brother that was able to drop out of college to be able to come help take care of me and help me get through college. And I'm super excited for his wife, who actually made a sacrifice to say, hey, I'm gonna take care of these kids while you go help your brother while you're easy so he can make it through college. You know, I'm super grateful for my friends that have been there by my side. And I'm so grateful for people like Don Parkinson who has enhanced my life. but I had to do my part too. Because again, like I said in the beginning, faith without works is dead. I had to do my part by taking action to be about the 7 principles that has given me the power to persevere. And these several principles I like to call the Trenell effect. The Trenell effect will influence you to take action. From action leads to satisfaction. The R, resilient. Be resilient because 2 steps back can lead to what I like to call a great comeback. I learned that from football. And the E is for encourage. Encourage others to help them flourish. The N is for never quit. It's impossible to stop a motivated person because they will never quit. The E is for evaluate. Evaluation that leads to your destination. The L, learn. Because when you learn, you earn respect for yourself, others, and you can possibly earn more money. And the last L is for love. Because love is a gift from above. And by taking action to be about the 7 principles, I've been able to do the following. I graduated with my classmates. I'm going to the University of North Texas where I obtained a bachelor's in rehabilitation studies, a master's in rehabilitation counseling. I am a rehabilitation counselor. I have held down a job for 12 years being a rehabilitation counselor as well as a corporate trainer until they decided to let me go. And then this is where I got creative and wrote my first book, The Trenell Effect. So now I'm an author. And then I created the business Triumph Beyond Limits, so I'm also a business owner. But more importantly, I've been able to achieve my childhood dreams. My mom has been retired since July 2011. So she doesn't have to work because she has to, she works because she chooses to. I've been blessed to buy her not only 1 car, but 2 cars. And on January 25th, 2020, I paid her last house payment. So now she is a homeowner. And I'm not trying to impress you with these accolades. I'm trying to impress upon you that with faith, that with people that are around you to support you, and with faith and putting in those work, you too can get all of those medals. And I talked about it this morning. Because I have a little chant that I like to do, that whenever I get down, I like to encourage myself. Because like I said, like we all know, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And the E and the Trenell effect is for encourage. And I was hesitant to do it, but Don said I should do it. And I want to encourage you to do this. Whenever you get down, you find yourself not being able to get up. And your part is going to be real easy in this chant. So in this chant, the only thing you're going to be saying is be about it. Be about it. So I'm going to count you down. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and then all together we're going to say be about it. Be about it. Be about it. Then I'm going to add a little bit to it. And then go from there. So are y'all ready? Yes. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Be about it. Be about it. Be about it. Be about it.
No. Y'all gotta bring some energy. Y'all bring a little bit more energy and keep saying it, and we'll go from there. So we're gonna do this again. Let's have a little fun. Let's smell a little bit. So we're gonna do 3, 2, 1.
Be about it. Be about it. Be about it. Be about it. Be about it.
Second part, we're gonna do that again, but this time I'm gonna add a few short sentences. As soon as I do it, you're gonna come in and say be about it. And then I'm gonna add another one, you're gonna say be about it. And we're just gonna keep going on, all right? All right, 3, 2, woman or man.
Be about it.
Do the best that you can.
Be about it.
Bringing value to people's life.
Be about it.
Ending hatred and even strife.
Be about it.
Using your abilities.
Be about it.
Treating everyone equally.
Be about it.
Understanding your self-worth.
Be about
You
it.
have a purpose here on this earth.
Be about it.
Be the best version of you.
Be about it.
And it do what it do.
Be about
I
it.
just wanted to get this off my chest.
Be about it.
You are amazing, and don't forget to
Be about it.
Be about it.
Be about it. Be about it. Be about it. Be about it.
yes, yes. Y'all did great. Y'all did
Did you
great.
just rap?
So, as I get ready to close, I want you to remember and putting in the work help when I get through a difficult situation. Finding the silver lining helps increase motivation. And being about the Trenell effect will help you overcome limitations. So, what is your reason for being a BG now? You have just experienced. Let it affect you and move you to take action, be resilient, encourage, never quit, evaluate, learn, and love. Have a positive effect so you may empower.